Hello and welcome to TNC Movie Nights. We're doing another review here. We both just watched Project Power on Netflix. We had another watch party. If you were there, you weren't because it was just two of us. But thank you for considering it now. Um, right off the bat, Brandon, what are your thoughts? Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I had a very good time. This was honestly a little better than I expected it would be. I thought I would go in and be like, all right, yeah. I'm not upset that I watched it, but I didn't think I'd be like, I'm gonna watch it again. I want to go watch it again. I really do. There's some things I kind of want to re-see with it, kind of just take it in, kind of more as an enjoyment aspect this time, not to kind of like, to like try to think super in depth of the movie. But all in all, I had a really good time with it.
Totally. It was a pleasant surprise. I was a little worried it would be kind of like, I think, what was it called, Bright or whatever that Will Smith cop movie was, with the sci-fi kind of vibe, where it's
Oh,
partnered
with
with like an
like
orc or
orcs
something like
and
that.
yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
Blight.
Blight. That was it. That movie sucked.
I
So,
yeah, I heard a lot of
I was a
like
little
decent
bit
things about it, but
worried.
never saw it.
I wasn't a fan, and so I was a little bit worried that this would be something kind of similar to that. But pleasantly surprised. I know you and I both talked about this earlier this week because we both really like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and so he was great. We were talking about Jamie Foxx a little bit with Soul on our show on Wednesday. So this was pretty solid cast all around going into it. So had a little bit of hope, and yeah, it was nice. Wasn't If I want to be like pedantic and nitpicky and kind of be an ass about it, it was a little predictable at times. A couple points were just like, I don't know how much sense that makes, but who cares? It's a fun movie. Definitely a popcorn movie. Definitely something that you watch it and you just, gobble up whatever snack you're eating, have a good time, enjoy your 2 hours. Yeah, it was worth the watch, totally.
And something I would like to point out now is this is going to be a full spoiler review. We're going to get into a lot of details about the movie and different plot points. So if you have not seen the movie, I would recommend turning this off, check out the movie, and then come back and, come listen to our thoughts after that. I don't want you guys to have it ruined for you. So definitely take a step back if you haven't seen it yet. But worth a watch. But we'll kind of get a little more into it there. So what was kind of one of the most predictable parts for you in this movie? Like, I guess what was something you're like, I knew that was going to happen, or even if it was just like right before it happened, seconds before, you're like, okay, this is going to happen in this scene.
Kind of the whole boat scene, the way that all ended. But that's not necessarily a horrible thing because that's what they foreshadowed. So if you're just paying attention, it becomes easy to predict when Jamie Foxx is in the car and he's like, "You still got those pills?" It's like, okay, we know he's gonna have one, and then you see him with one. It's like, okay, well, he's either pocketing it or if he's smart, he's cheeking it. Got a little chipmunk pill right there, something like that. So it was, okay, he's probably got a pill or something. And then he flashed it, and we were like, oh, there it is. And then we saw when Tracy walked by that little glass case with like the plant in it that came back to life as she walked
Yeah.
by. We're like, okay, subtle way to show that she has healing powers. It's weird. She was both subtle and a little on the nose, where you're like, I got it. I saw you put it dead center frame. You left it
Yeah.
there for like 5 whole seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Yeah.
So then at the end when they're all like, it's got to be me. I was like, all right, well, he's obviously going to take the pill. He's
Mm-hmm.
going to do that mantis shrimp or bullet shrimp, as they called it in the movie. He's going to do that, whatever that equates to, and then probably die. And then she's going to save his life. And then check. All kind of happened, which again is not a terrible thing because it's what they set up. So I can't fault a movie for just sort of following the formula that they set up. But when you are a little bit more heavy-handed with the foreshadowing there, you sort of set yourself up to possibly be a little predictable. But that's a hard line to walk, and it's very difficult when movies do that because some movies they try to be so subtle that it leaves everyone in the dark, and then you're like, what the
Mm-hmm.
hell just happened? What does
Yeah.
any of this mean? I'm so lost. And then in other movies, they kind of beat you over the head with it, and you're like, I get it. Jesus. Okay, yeah, I know everything that's going to happen, and we're at minute 32. So this one, I'm not going to fault it. It did a decent job. But yeah, like I said, at the end, it just got a little predictable. How about you?
I can definitely agree with you on the predictable part because there was a part like 1/3 in the movie when he brings up, he's talking about the power and stuff with Robin, and she says, "Oh, well, what's your power?" And he's like, "Oh, you don't want to see it," or like, "Yeah, I did it once. I'm never doing." I was like, "Nah, this is how the movie's gonna end." Him saving people with his crazy power. So that was definitely there, and I was like, okay. And then yeah, the whole healing flower scene was a little. It was a little much. I can definitely see that one there. I see. I was gonna say, outside of that, there really wasn't any real issues I had with the movie. It honestly almost felt like it was too short. I like right at the boat scene. I was like, wow, this is gonna be over soon. I tried like 20 minutes left. I'm like, this movie honestly kind of flew. Maybe that was my only kind of weird issue. Usually, I'm like, I want movies to be shorter. I would have loved if they would have given us maybe a little bit more of maybe the bad guys a little bit, because like the only thing we got of the bad guys was him trying to like sell the pills at that one little sequence. We didn't know anything about like the female main bad guy. It was just like, she's the big bad, but like, why? Like, what's her motive? Like, what's kind of going on? And it was just kind of like, yeah, we're just trying to test powers. Like, that's all we kind of got from it. So it didn't feel like the bad guys were that like. At no point was I like, oh man, if they win, like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, I was like, okay, like, I mean, I don't know, like they're gonna have a little kind of drug ring going on. Seemed like about it. So I'd have liked them to have maybe a nice 5-10 minute part of the movie where it's like, oh, we're testing this for military or for terrorist groups, and they kind of really get into it. I would have liked a little something like that to, fear the bad guys a little bit more than just, hey, we sell drugs. So I think that's probably kind of it there.
Right. For how much time and development they gave to the B characters on the good side, they did the opposite for the B characters on the bad side. Because you had even the guy that he was looking for. You saw pictures of I think there was more screen time of the actual photo of the dude with the beard than there was the actual dude with the beard. And he was just gone.
Yeah.
Although, to sort of give points back to them for that, I like how they didn't have both of them try to fight him. Because that would have been a very badass fight scene, and it would have been a very easy way to score like preview points where you can just clip that, put it in the preview, and get people to watch the movie because of that.
Yeah.
But it also kind of goes against everything that they showed. Like his power, this dude takes a pill and he just broke a door with one punch, and then he broke a door that was like this thick with just a couple little, a little combo that he threw. Yeah. So having two just regular dudes fighting him, it would be like this doesn't make sense according to your rules. I'm a stickler for that, but we won't dig because they did a good job. Yeah, so I appreciate how they just kind of blasted him. And then when Joseph Gordon-Levitt got hit, he was still on the pill, so it makes sense why he didn't die. It's like, damn, but you showed us earlier when he's on the pill, he can get literally shot in the head from point blank, and he's fine. So I got no beef.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to point out. I thought they did a great job because I think if it was like Art, his character for Jamie Foxx, if he would have been punched, his rib cage should just like. That's something else I thought was nuts.
Game over, man.
Yeah, I thought that was something else that was nuts. Kind of the graphic that they put, like the dude's rib cage just blowing out when he's like, "Oh, that's gross, man," and they actually pan back over to it. I was like, "Whoa!" I was not expecting that. So definitely a very interesting visual they throw in there. Yeah, I thought they did a great job with the pace of the movie, though. Yeah, I mean, again, as we kind of got to it, it was predictable. We would have liked a little bit more of maybe the bad guys, but the pacing of it at no point was that like, oh, come on, get to some cool stuff. Yeah. Like, it was pretty constant of kind of, getting chased around, fighting, or, kind of sneaking through some big plot at the end. So I thought they did a great job with that. No point felt like a lull in this movie.
No, I totally agree with you. And same with, there wasn't like constant, holy crap, you have to like calm down here for a second. I'm not on cocaine, so I can't follow this crazy story that you're doing right now. There wasn't any of that sort of thing where you're just like, what's happening? Mm-hmm. And there also wasn't, like you said, there wasn't a lull where you're just like, I got it, move on. It was a very well-paced movie, so I definitely agree with you on that one. And I know we're going to review the movie, but I got to ask you 2 questions, actually. One, would you take a pill? And two, if you did, what do you think your power would be?
Yes, of course. Like I would do anything for superpowers. Come on.
Superhero guy, yeah.
Yeah, I would do anything to have superpowers. So definitely my superpower though. It's got to be mind control. It's got to be mind control. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just take out some bad people with it, man. I just keep. It would be like in like one of the X-Men movies. I forgot who did it, but they touched someone and said, "Oh, it was X-Men Origins." Wolverine's like girlfriend, wife at the time. He's like touched the cop didn't keep walking forever. It's like just like that. Some bad dude. Just keep walking. Like it would be like little stuff like that. Yeah. But how about you? What's your superpower? It's got
hell no, man. Did you see that dude whose chest exploded?
Worth it.
No,
worth it.
No. I would always want to, but I would always be more afraid of my chest exploding and me just painting the room with my insides than the curiosity would ever be to find out what my power would be. So I wouldn't do it, but I would always be curious. But yeah, so in terms of powers, I don't know, man. I'd probably be like Bam Bam from the Flintstones, just be like picking up desks and stuff, just walking around and be like, so like super strength, but yeah. But not on like a Hulk level,
on a cartoon,
just like on a convenient level where it would be like you only have to call me to move. I would just twist, pop. All right, I'll take the couch.
Yeah. Like, oh, I you know what? I want to move my fridge over there to over there. All right, cool.
There you go. We good? Man, that's crazy. You got super strength. Can you lift the house? No, that's way too heavy, but I can move your couch.
Yeah.
I can't lift the car, but I can kind of push it.
I was going to say, car rolls over, someone's like, oh, help me. This you carrying some huge thing. It's like, it's too big for me. Sorry.
No way with that car, but does anyone need a fridge? I got a fridge. I can carry it to your house for you. Oh, man.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't take the pill. It's not worth death. But back to the movie. I thought it was just really cool how they sort of like developed the powers there, where everyone has their own thing. You were always curious to see whose was. It threw me a little bit when he was doing like, you know what the most powerful animal in the world is. Super cool monologue, but
yeah.
Then he said, we get our powers from animals, right? Well, not really. I don't know what animal you could shoot at point blank range and you'd just be fine. Or I don't know what animal just can kind of turn into ice, unless you're talking about those foxes from that Star Wars movie. So it was like that line. I don't know why. It was just kind of like, but do you though? I get what you're going for. And then I just started questioning, is it based on animals? Is it only based on animals? Is it sometimes? And it makes sense then, because some of them fall in line, and some of them don't. It just kind of opened up a whole bag where I was like, I don't know about that.
I will
but
give them,
I don't have much to complain about.
Totally, I will give them, though, they decided to explain the two craziest powers in the movie of the animals. Like the bullet shrimp, and then what was it? It was like a rodent or a bat or something that could like break its own bones, and then...
Yes.
Into weapons. That was really cool. They explained that. I've always wanted to see in a superhero type movie of someone like with spine abilities, like bones protruding and stuff like that. I always thought that'd be really cool, and I never thought a movie would do it. And then I saw that guy, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, no disrespect to Wolverine, but that trumps bone claws for sure.
Yeah, just being able to be like claw, like
a forearm blade, and then like a little hanger in the back, but it's just like neck. He's like, all right, I got this. He got messed up.
Yeah.
Did not go too well for him. Spoiler alert, but we already covered that. Yeah, man, this was just a pretty solid flick. It's on Netflix, so it's hard not to recommend it, because it's not like you have to go buy a movie ticket or buy the DVD. So if you're talking a recommendation, I absolutely say go watch it. It's fun. Make some popcorn or get whatever snack you like. If you have 2 hours to kill at the end of the day or on a weekend or something, and you're scrolling through Netflix and you're like, I don't know what to put on, throw it on. It's worth a watch for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. I don't think you have to be a superhero fan or an action fan or like a suspense mystery type fan. I think anyone can go watch this movie and be like, all right, that was a good time. There was a little bit of humor. There was a little bit of a father daughter story in there. A little bit of superpowers and action. A little mystery. Like there's a little bit for everyone. And I was a little surprised. I shouldn't have been because it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Jamie Foxx, but how funny the movie was at times. Like the scene when he is in Robin's house pretending to be like her mom's
Oh my
boyfriend.
god,
That killed me. He comes
that
out
was
like
so
shirtless in
funny.
a towel and is like, "Oh hey baby, I was taking a shower." He's like playing that off and stuff is great. And then just a little subtle.
Wait, I love the callback to that too at the end. Where he's like, "Is that my mom's
Oh,
phone?" And Robin was like, "Is that my mom's phone? How'd you
long
get that?
story.
Tell me how you got that."
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a really funny one.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And then just like the little on the boat, it was very, very small. He, they got their plan ready. It's like, all right, you got to go here. You got to go get him here. Go there. It's like, all right, we got this. Leaves, goes the wrong way. It's like, wrong way. And it's like, I know that. It's like just the little stuff. It wasn't beating you
Yeah.
over the head with humor, but there was the little things here and there. You're like, nice. So it was.
Yeah, it
Was,
seemed
yeah. Go
it
ahead.
seemed very realistic humor. It wasn't
Yeah.
like someone doing a quip or a cheap bit in the middle of something where you're like, yeah, but also like there's stuff going on.
Yeah.
It was like when it was appropriate, it was funny. And then when it was appropriate, it also got kind of deep in that message of like talking about the system and how the system is rigged against you. Especially in the case of Robin when Jamie Foxx is talking to her and he's basically like, you're a young black woman. Like this system is not meant to, it's not gonna do well for you. And it sort of mirrors obviously what's going on right now. We don't have to do a deep dive into that on a show like this, but it's something that's very real. And so when they talk about it in a movie like this, it's like, yeah, it's not easy. And it's easy for me to say that we're two white dudes talking about movies online. Like we're not exactly riding the struggle bus here. But for a movie like
Yeah.
this to take the time to sort of deliver that message and the way that they did it too without just trying to make the movie just like as much of a political statement as they could, which they absolutely could have, but it's something that would feel like, I don't know, it felt like the way that they did it was very, very well. They made it very clear what was going on. They made it very clear that like this whole movie is about dismantling the system or how much the system is willing to do to take advantage of people. And so they were just kind of showing you all of that in an action fiction sort of way where they can kind of combine the two and be like, this is also the real world. You know, we can pop a pill and take powers and all that stuff, but also there's some bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate how they did that.
Yeah, and it was really cool that they made the conversation very natural between Robin and Jamie Foxx's character Art. Is it's kind of them just hanging out, and she was like rapping and stuff, and at the end of it is like, it's like use your voice, like you're powerful and strong, and it's like it was really cool that they kind of all wrapped it up in just such like a, I don't know, like a friendly, like again, kind of like that father-daughter kind of thing that Robin wanted, and then of course he was looking for his daughter. So I thought that was awesome that they did that, and
Totally.
yeah, it had a lot of good messages, and it was fun as well. So I really
Absolutely.
enjoyed it.
I also like his line during that scene when he's like, that's your power. And I like how the movie kind of doubled down with that by showing us or not showing us what Robin's power would have been. She didn't take the pill. She's never taken the pill. She's never going to take the pill. And so when he says that's your power, it just kind of helps give it a little bit more weight to it too. Also, Robin's got bars. Those are some
Dude.
awesome lines she had. Oh my god, I was laughing so hard when she was roasting the teacher, and then to find out it was a dream sequence, I was like, oh, but it makes sense that she wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I want her to do that.
Same. That's the thing. Like they didn't. Again, it was nothing that felt unnatural with her doing
No.
that in the movie at all. Like just trying to get this girl to rap. It was like really placed extremely well, and it made it so much fun. And anytime she was doing it, you're like, please keep going. And then it has to stop at times. And it was fantastic the way they kind of just wrapped that with her, wrapped it all together with her character. No pun intended. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely. This is, like I said before, this is just a pretty solid flick. If you want to be pedantic and nitpicky, you can, but why? Save yourself the trouble. It's on Netflix. It's free. Go watch it. It's fun. You'll like it. And if you don't, who cares? You only sacrificed 2 hours. You didn't spend any money outside of a Netflix subscription. So, any final thoughts, though?
I am not usually one for sequels. Because movies are kind of special that first time seeing them. But this is something I really would be interested in a sequel, just because I think you could play a lot more with the dynamic between Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, because they didn't really interact until the last like third or quarter of the movie. So there is still a lot there, I think, that you could do with those two characters, and I think more Robin would be awesome too. So I would love to kind of see them, even if it was just a like a Robin and Art sort of deal. Or I know Art at the end was like, no, yeah, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. So I know that they went kind of on that route with it. But then, yeah, you get like for Frank, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, they could play with it a little bit more, that he's saving, protecting his city. So, and maybe he teams up with someone else. So weirdly enough, this is a movie I'd be like, yeah, I kind of do want a sequel. A lot of these movies, though, I'm like, yeah, just that's good. That's done. Like Kick-Ass, one of my favorite movies. When that one was over, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. And I don't know. I think this movie could do a really good job with it, because even if it's maybe not even the same two characters, but now the drug's in a different city, or maybe it was already in a different city, and now there is even a bigger kingpin behind all this, and there's so much they could do. So,
Totally. And like you were saying with Kick-Ass, I mean, sometimes you don't need a sequel, and then they still made one anyway. But you know, oftentimes I'm right there with you, where it's like, this is good. I liked it. Keep it that way. Same with TV shows. It's like, it was very good until season X, and then they made 4 more seasons, and now it's just kind of a meh show.
yeah.
But with this one, yeah, I like how they kind of teased it, and then kind of shut it down, but still left it open, where he was like, what's next? And it's like, that's it for me, man. So it definitely gives them the option to go forward here without the obligation to.
Yeah.
They didn't have like a post-credit teaser. They didn't have like now I'm going to go to New York and topple this thing from the head down. It was just like,
Yeah.
we'll leave it open, see how people feel. I know we looked online, it had mixed reviews, slightly leaning positive, so who the heck knows right now, man. But I would definitely watch it. If a sequel came out, especially like this, Netflix, free, minus the subscription, then I would totally watch it. If I see that pop up there, I'm down. But yeah, I'm not gonna be begging for one, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I can definitely agree.
All right, man. Well, that's all from me. So you tell the people where they can find us.
All right, it's that time again. We promise. We promise. We didn't do it on purpose, but we both have the same TNC Movie Nights shirts on. Little awkward. Again, we did a last episode.
Oh my
as you guys
God.
will
This
see
whole
on
week
Wednesday.
we've just been pairing up.
Yeah, it's been a weird week. He lives across the country, and we somehow planned this out on accident. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to get some really cool shirts, really soft, cute ass little shirts, just go to our merch shop at spreadshirt.com/thenerdchambers. Outside of that, just at TNC Movie Nights. There you go. At TNC Movie Nights, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. You can even just Google TNC Movie Nights at this point. Something will pop up. If you also want to go check out on our podcasting platforms, if you're here on YouTube, then go ahead and check us out at Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcast. Anchor, our fantastic distributor over there, does a great job getting our podcast to so many different platforms that I don't even know them all. I know there's like Castbox and all this other crazy stuff out there too. And then, if you're also listening to us as well, as I mentioned, we're on YouTube. Go check us out, youtube.com/TNC Movie Nights. Give us a little subscribe over there. We got some cool stuff with the Nerd Chambers too. But yeah, that's going to be all for us. I'm Brandon. He's Alex. It's TNC Movie Nights.